What's new at Charlie's? What's new at Charlie's? Still on Main. What's new at Charlie's? Tell me what's new at Charlie's? Still on Main.
Hi, welcome to another edition of What's New at Charlie's. Well, we're back today with a bourbon's been talked about for a while. It's been hinted that it's coming, and it's finally here in Michigan. This is a Heaven Hill bottled and bond 7-year-old whiskey. I think you all know my good friend, Mr. Don Williams of Bourbon Fool. Don, how are you?
Hey, Charlie, I'm great. And Heaven Hill is one of those distilleries where I think a lot of people don't know about them.
Yeah?
But they're historic, and they do a lot of products, and we'll talk a little bit about that.
Yeah?
And they've probably done more to keep the bottled and bond image out there. Back when it wasn't very popular, they were still putting a lot of releases out there under different brands.
Yes.
And I think that we're going to have a real treat here. I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah, me too. So you realize that it was on our trip to Heaven Hill to pick out a barrel of Elijah Craig that I just made an offhanded comment. We should do a video or something.
Yeah, I believe that was the trip, and
No.
you've been regretting it ever since.
And here I am, still doing these videos.
That's right.
No, it's
That's
great,
right.
man. But yeah, Heaven Hill. So the distillery, or I take that back. The offices are in Bardstown. There's a story there, right?
Yeah, there is, and it's a bigger story, but quickly, this is distilled at their Bernheim distillery in Louisville,
Yeah.
but bottled in Bardstown.
Yep.
So actually, it has 2 Kentucky DSP numbers associated with it, which is unique.
That is very unique. Yeah.
Bernheim is DSP Kentucky 1, and then I believe Bardstown is DSP Kentucky 31.
Yeah.
Both very low
Yeah.
in the industry.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. And by the way, Heaven Hill has just broken ground on a new distillery in Bardstown.
Yeah.
So they're going to go back to distilling in Bardstown as well as Louisville.
Yeah, I'm sure they've outgrown Bernheim at this point. But so there was a fire, right? And it burned up their distillery in Bardstown. And I don't know when that was.
It's one of the great stories
Yeah.
to me in all of the bourbon world, and it'll show you how close these companies work together.
Yes.
When they lost their distilling capability for about 2 years, Jim Beam and Brown-Forman stepped in and made product for them so that they could stay in the marketplace until they could buy Bernheim and get back into distilling business.
Pretty cool, man. Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty unique in the corporate world. It
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah, you don't see much of that nowadays, but that's cool. Yeah, it was a great story. It was something when I got there I didn't even know. I didn't even know that when we got there was not going to be a distillery tour. I was quite shocked, but maybe you could touch on that in a blog sometime. It's a great story, so let people know about it. But today we're here to drink whiskey, not just talk about whiskey. So like I said, this is 7 years old. It's bottled and bond, which means it's
100 proof.
always. And so let's crack her open and see what we got, Don.
So while Charlie's doing that,
Yeah.
just to make sure everyone understands about Heaven Hill, the company, you may not recognize Heaven Hill bourbon, but Heaven Hill makes a lot of product that you're familiar with. They make Evan Williams, they make Elijah Craig, they make Rittenhouse, they make Larceny. They literally make a lot of brands out there.
Fitzgerald?
Old Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
That are everyday products that people buy every day. And for those of you who do not know, Evan Williams is the second largest bourbon sold worldwide, second only to Jim Beam.
Yeah. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers.
But I think what Don was saying is they got a pretty good pedigree. We have
they
high
do.
expectations here.
So right off the right off the top, it has a great nose.
Yeah, it does.
And literally, we've been trying some Canadian things. We've been trying some different that are not known for aroma necessarily.
It's good to be back to bourbon.
It is. It's a very nice aroma.
Great.
Caramel, a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of, boy, that's really a great aroma. Now, that is really good Kentucky bourbon.
That is really good bourbon, man.
It really is.
It's a little sweet. Do we know the mash bill on this one?
It's 78 corn,
There
10,
you go.
10
Yeah.
rye, and
Yeah.
12 malted barley.
So, this is right up my alley, man. This
Right.
is, wow, this is fantastic.
So now I'm getting a little bit of orange, citrus.
Yeah, I get that too. Yep.
And I'm going to tell you, I apologize. I did not look up the suggested retail price of this.
I don't know how hard it's going to be to come by. I don't know how hard it is to find. I'm not really sure. I don't remember it being, it's not in the hundreds of dollars. It's not one of those bottles. I think it was somewhere reasonable. I just don't know what the availability of it will be in the future.
Well,
but
I don't say this very often, but I have one of these,
yeah.
and I'm going to buy more.
Yes, absolutely, man. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can get more too, because this is fantastic.
So another thing about Heaven Hill that a lot of people might not know, is that until just recently, all of their master distillers were members of the Beam family.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Really?
Oh, yeah. So it started with Joe Beam, it went to Harry Beam, it went to Park Beam, Earl Beam, Parker Beam, and
Sure.
then Craig Beam. And it wasn't until Denny Potter that they went outside of the Beam family for a master distiller. And literally, they only did that because Craig Beam had to resign. And now it's Connor O'Driscoll who is really doing a lot of good things. And quite frankly, I think that it's one of my favorite stops. The Shapiro family has owned it from the 30s.
Okay. All right.
And it's a big operation that gives you kind of a friendly family
Yeah.
feel.
So they've opened the visitor center there.
The newly
yeah.
expanded visitor center.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And,
that was still in construction when we were there. So
Right.
yeah, we are going back in August.
Right, for another Elijah Craig, folks.
Another Elijah Craig barrel, finally, after COVID, and never mind.
Right, so I'm anxious to see what Charlie's idea coming back from that trip's going to be,
Yeah.
because the first one led to the video
I'm
series.
going to keep my mouth shut on this trip. Man, that's good stuff right there, bud.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, I would highly recommend you try this, and I would highly recommend you buy one if you see one.
Yes.
Because I think for the price point, it's going to be a great bottle.
I think it is going to be a great bottle. So yeah, I'm curious to see the availability of it and how many are out there in the market. I got to look into that. But yeah, man, they hit it out of the park with this one.
Yeah, if you like 7-year-old Kentucky bourbon with a lot of flavor and a great aroma, this is your bottle, and it won't break the bank.
Yeah, and it's opening up a little bit, getting some cinnamon out of it. And yeah.
It is really, really a good, it's quaffable.
Oh, dude, it's completely quaffable. All right, well, thank you guys so much for tuning in again. Hope you're enjoying it as much as we do. Cheers, come die Charlie sometime. Try one of these. It'll be available here if you can't find one in your local party store. And if you can, buy all you can find. Cheers.
Charlie. Thank you, everyone.
Wow.
What's new at Charlie's? Still on Main. What's new at Charlie's? Tell me what's new at Charlie's? Still on Main.